Boris Johnson called Trumpian and infantile by EU figures after he compares Brexit to the Hulk smashing out of his chains.
Here's a summary of the article.
Boris Johnson has been labelled Trumpian and infantile by a senior European Union figure after the United Kingdom's Prime Minister compared Britain leaving the EU to Hulk smashing out of his chains. Johnson has insisted that he will take the UK out of the EU by the end of October, with or without a withdrawal deal, despite members of Parliament passing a law which could compel him to seek a third delay to Brexit. Is the EU supposed to be scared by this? The British public impressed? Is this Boris Johnson whistling in the dark? Boris Johnson forgets that the Hulk only fights for the good of the whole, Ruffalo tweeted alongside an image of the Mail on Sunday front page. Brexit Secretary Stephen Barclay also attracted ridicule for remarks comparing Johnson's handling of Brexit to the Hulk. Johnson has insisted that he will oppose any deal containing the backstop, which if triggered would to keep the UK aligned to EU trade and customs rules in order to avoid a hard border with Ireland, if Britain fails to negotiate alternative arrangements by the end of the two-year Brexit transition period. One Brussels source told Business Insider that recent reports in Britain that Johnson was moving closer to agreeing a revised deal with the EU were total S from Westminster sources.
This post received a score of 41,681, with an upvote ratio of 83%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
Trump probably seeing Trumpian and thinking it's a compliment about him. Boo earns.
Boo Oris.
I was saying Boo Oris.
Good analogy actually, insofar as it would entail a lot of avoidable damage and would leave everyone miserable. Although Trumpian ___ and _ infantile is highly redundant, the former very clearly implies the latter. It's like saying the hurricane was wet. From the standpoint of water. Big ocean water.
Big blue wet thing.
Let's go to Zanzibar to see the Zanzibarians.
Smart as paint, you a lad, smart as paint.
Mark Ruffalo reacts.
Boris only cares about Boris.
But does Boris smash? And is he ripped in some shorts?
Greater than but does Boris smash? He sure does, usually a bit too much for his current wife, girlfriend's liking. His Wikipedia infobox says children, 5 or 6, laughing face.
Imagine being the or sixth child.
To be fair, I'd rather not know.
Once the trademark unmanageable mop started growing on your head, it would be unavoidable.
We call it the simple jack.
Never go full Boris. Actually never go part Boris either.
I like how Trumpian is becoming a derogatory term. It's becoming the opposite of the verb to trump something. I guess this is a situation where capitalization completely changes the meaning.
In the UK, a Trump is also a fart. It's very rare to see a BJ after a Trump, but here we are.
Underrated comment.
Less like the Hulk, more like a teen runaway that has to prostitute himself to survive.
I'll give you a quick privatized NHS for some chlorinated chicken.
Trumpian is my new favorite way to describe childish, pouty people who can't admit their mistakes.
Trumpian, someone who will argue against all reason and logic because they can't admit to being wrong. Tantrum, when someone is proven wrong but unable to admit it, lashes out at anyone they can.
I hope your comment makes it into all English dictionaries. Is it on Urban Dictionary yet? Trump speak is.
A character as layered and intricate could never exist in the vacuum that is Boris Johnson. He's obviously trying to punch above his weight. It boggles the mind how people like him get so much power. On one hand you think they're almost Machiavellian, but on the other they say things that makes it painfully obvious they are actually idiots.
It's a common misconception that our political systems select for intelligence or, God forbid, integrity. The old "those who want power are those who shouldn't have it" adage certainly holds true in many cases.
People still vote for dictators. People like the strongman image, but usually this strongman and the voters are the most insecure and scared people. They just lash out in anger over that feeling powerless insecurity. Why you see the press or in Boris' case Parliament who will criticizes them get silenced.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.